I told myself weddings were harmless, an hour of pretending and then life returned to normal. At Greg and Hannah's reception I watched my wife, Emma, laugh in a way I hadn't heard in years, and when she kissed him behind the dessert table, the world went quiet. It wasn't a peck. It was deliberate, slow, like a punctuation mark at the end of our marriage. We'd been married 8 years. 2 kids, a mortgage, routines that felt safe because they fit. Emma used to leave notes in my lunchbox. Somewhere along the way those notes became calendars and grocery lists. I didn't notice the small silences stacking between us until they were monuments. After the wedding I didn't yell. I drove home with my hands white-knuckled on the wheel and replayed the kiss like a scratched record. At 2 in the morning Emma padded into the kitchen, hair loose and perfume too bright. She saw the suitcase half-packed in the hall and froze. "Mark," she said. "Who was that?" I asked. She smiled like nothing had happened. "What are you talking about?" "The man you kissed," I said. "At Greg's." "Who was he?" She sank onto a chair. "Mark, it wasn't like that. It was a stupid, drunken thing. You're making it bigger than it was." "It meant nothing?" I asked. "You kissed another man." She raised her voice. "You're melodramatic. It didn't mean anything. It meant everything. Betrayal rearranges priorities. I couldn't continue folding towels in a house where someone had changed the wiring of my trust. I started small. I moved Emma's phone into a drawer and watched her panic when it wasn't on the counter. I changed the password to the family streaming account. I paid attention to receipts and to the sudden blooming of lipstick on her collar when she came home from the gym. Each discovery was a splinter prying open a door. Then I found texts. Not many at first, just late-night emojis and a name I didn't recognize, Lucas. The messages were playful, mirroring the way she'd looked at Greg. When I confronted her she blamed loneliness and work stress, said she didn't mean to hurt me. I wanted to believe her. I didn't. I had to choose. Walk away and let the kids have a divided home, or do something that made the betrayal costly. I knew destroying everything she loved would hurt her, and I wanted her to feel the hollowing she gave me. I didn't want public humiliation, I wanted private consequences. First, I changed the locks. She laughed until she couldn't. I took the family photos from the mantle and hid them in the attic. I canceled our weekend in the country and refunded the B&B without telling her. I unsubscribed her from the monthly boxes she used to open like ritual. Little absences became malice carved into routine. I didn't touch the kids' things. Breakfast still happened. Notes for them remained on the fridge. If revenge has a morality it starts with protecting the innocent. I opened a new bank account and redirected half of our joint funds into it. It was legal, just methodical. I took the credit cards she loved to use for impulse purchases and replaced them with ones that had limits. When she tried to order the leather jacket she'd been eyeing, the card declined. She stared at the screen as if someone had removed the map to her life. When she discovered her letters had been redirected she screamed. "What is wrong with you?" she cried. "I took the things you used to soothe yourself," I said. "The trinkets, the subscriptions, the easy comforts. You promised we'd work on this," she said, voice cracking. "I promised honesty," I said. She packed a bag once, then changed her mind. She accused me of cruelty. "You can't punish me into being faithful," she said. "You think this will force me?" "It will force consequences," I said. "That is different." There were nights I almost apologized. Loneliness and fatigue made me imagine apologies fixing everything. Then I'd remember the kiss, deliberate and content. Regret for her became my strategy. Friends whispered. At a barbecue someone asked where Emma was and I said she needed time. Parents at pickup tilted their heads, uncomfortable. My sister called and begged me to think of the kids. "Don't make rash decisions," she said. But patient revenge becomes education. I didn't ruin her job. I didn't make threats. I removed scaffolding that allowed her to float above consequences. I made dinners less convenient. I was a careful, patient thing, eroding safety until she had to stand on her own. I set rules that felt surgical, weekly check-ins, open banking statements, and one night a week where we had to talk without phones. She swallowed her pride and met me halfway. It was humiliating for her, healing for me. Some days the silence still pulled at me, a reminder of what had nearly fallen apart, but the house began to feel less like a battlefield and more like a place that could be home again finally. Eventually she sat me down. "Please, Mark," she said, panic brimming. "I didn't mean for it to go this far. I can stop. I will stop. Help me." I thought of the woman who left love notes and of the woman who chose a kiss at a dessert table. "I can help you," I said slowly, "but I won't rebuild what you broke for you. You will have to earn it back." She nodded, grateful and ashamed. It was a start, the fragile beginning I wanted. I kept her accountable, therapy with me, strict financial boundaries, rebuilt trust counted in small daily things. In the end, I didn't destroy everything she loved. I dismantled the comforts and excuses that made betrayal painless. Sometimes revenge isn't cruelty, it's reattaching consequence to choice. If she wanted back what she had, she would have to stand in the ruins and build something honest.